Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive, and thank you so much for being here. So I am here to do a read for you, and this will be for all Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as your Venus. This will be from April 1st through the 15th, and it'll be you and that other person, okay? And that other person might be a significant other, you could be in a committed relationship, it could be a person of interest, and even a friend or a family member. So whatever relationship or situationship that you're in, just note that. I'll put you and that other person. Now keep in mind, that goes without saying, it is a general read. It may not resonate with all of you. So my friends, I hope there's something that you can take with you. And if not, just leave it for another Pisces or a cross watcher, okay? And just keep in mind that all you Pisces, all the Pisces out there are on different stages. So you might be at different levels. It might resonate with some of you now, may be the past for some of you, it might be the future that's yet to come, okay? So just note that, all right? So if you would like a personal read, then go to theguidedintuitive.com and I'll get you hooked up over there, okay? And I want to thank you. I have been so busy with reads. I'm so grateful for all of you. So thank you so very much. I do appreciate that, okay? What else do I need to let you know? Our store is located in our description box below, as well as our website. And you could definitely check that out as well. And let's see what wants to come through. I'm going to do one more shuffle here for some reason. I feel like I actually want to do two. Okay, so let's see what wants to come out for you, Pisces. We'll take the first card. Now, keep in mind that you might resonate with one side more than the other, or a message from the other, and that's okay. Take what resonates with you, and take that into consideration and use that as your guidepost. Okay. So what's coming into play here? Ooh, the breaking, okay? Now this is an 11 card, very interesting. So when I see an 11, especially as it relates to the numerology, that is a master number, right? And the 11 means, it's spiritually, it represents that transmutation, right? Of your personal power to a higher, more spiritual level, okay? And that's what's happening. So there is a breaking that is going to be lifting you in some way, shape, or form, okay? So that's what's coming into play. So it is, 65 card. So quite interesting. So that's what this is telling me. And so for the most part, that sometimes you have to break apart to come together again, right? Kind of like the ebb and the flow. There's a break in the ocean and the waves, but then it comes together again, right? And then it does it again and it repeats itself. So that's all that this is saying. It's a natural course and a part of a growth, okay? Of your spiritual growth as well. So there could be a breaking apart also of a relationship, and sometimes it's so you can get yourself back and grounded and to get whole again, and perhaps whether it's to come back together again, or whatever it is in terms of your spiritual growth, maybe it's to move on. You're going to know what that means to you, but that's what's coming up here in this process. And it's not, sometimes it's hard to understand because you can see it's a little bit chaotic, right? So a lot of fiery colors that are coming into play here. As it relates to your energy centers, you see a lot of that root chakra, which is that red, right? That's your grounding and breaking apart to get grounded, right? So then you can move up and be able to speak your truth, which is the blue color relating to your throat chakra, right? And so that's what's coming into play. So it is about, your security, your existence, and a physical change in some way, shape, or form, but it also has to do with your life purpose, your expression, and your voice. So all of those things are kind of coming together, and it can kind of feel, like you are breaking apart. And this is just saying is, are you holding yourself back from the call of the love that's calling you at this time, that's luring you to become all that you are and to remember your divine nature? Well, you can try to hold back, but why would you want to do that, okay? For what purpose? Maybe just for temporary rest, and that's at best. So this is saying take a rest if you need to, then dive into this because it wants yourself to be broken by the divine so you can become your truth, become all that you are meant to be, Pisces. So it's better to have a heart broken so it can grow again than to be brokenhearted and think that you must protect yourself from love. You want to get back on that wave and you want to ride it, honey. Okay. You want to move forward. You do not want to live a life without love just because you break your heart one time. Okay. Put your pieces, put that back together. And I am here to remind you of that. Love you to pieces. And yet I am called to let you know to get back on your surfboard and ride, okay? So that's what this is letting me, that's what's working through me, because it is compassionate, loving guidance that I want to give you. It's reading, I don't want to see any, the sadness, anger, or despair or frustration, because this is saying, yes, there's going to be at times that we all are broken apart by some dark forces, and this is saying is that, but the loving embrace of the divine, it's really wants to bring you back into the fold once again, and it wants you to let go and break. And because what is going to happen, it's going to be that true making of you. It really, truly is. So just go with it. Go with that flow, because it's going to lead you in a beautiful place. Okay, let's see what else wants to come up for you here. Okay. So it could be, as it relates to some sort of relationship in some way, shape, or form. Okay. So the next card that you get is that Spiral Dance of the Goddess. Wow. You know what's so interesting? You get another 11 card. Spirituality. You're coming to a higher level, and it's quite beautiful. So the spiritual dance of the goddess, and this is like the convergence. All this green here, that has to do with the heart chakra. Love and relationships, okay? That has to deal with that tourmaline, the kind of that rose quartz of the heart, right? And so that's what's coming into play here for you. And it's all about, saying that, I love myself with no conditions. I give and receive love fully, effortlessly, unconditionally. Loving unconditionally yourself first, and then knowing that the divine loves you, okay? And that you can be loved, you're worthy of love, and you're so deserving of love. You just so are. And so that's what's coming into play. I think you're seeing the light in this, is what's happening, is that, through this, convergence and through the folds, you're actually kind of going into the chambers of your heart and understanding and coming out with this light and knowing that that is actually the case for you. So another 11 card, okay? So this is quite beautiful. And it is, the 11 is that master number. It can talk about two people, the one and the one side by side, right? It's that vibrational frequency of that prime number. It doubles in power. It's like one is powerful, but a one and a one together are double powerful, right? And yes, they say that they don't break it down. You don't break it down into the twos, and you don't combine them into two, but that doesn't neglect that one plus, there is one and one that do make the 11, and those are two power, one's powerful enough on its own, but with another one it's super powerful, right? So it's very, very beautiful, okay? And if you're seeing like the 1111s, it just means you're becoming more aware, more enlightenment is coming your way. It's like that state of intuition and insight and enlightenment is manifesting within your life, and that's beautiful. So just note that. But that's what this is saying, that spiral dance of the goddess. And the 29 is all telling me is that there is we become, it's like we're unfolding, right? As I told you, we're incarnating, into a divine work of art. And that's what this is saying. So it just basically wants to let you know is that that you are growing and you're bringing more light into form, all right? And hence you see the light in this tunnel kind of coming through. You may be meeting obstacles in yourself or in a relationship or in this world because you're just bringing, you're just coming through to the light. So if nothing is happening, there would be no obstacle. You want to bless the things that are coming your way as signs that you are proceeding in it, and to empower things that don't serve you no longer, because everything is going to happen, but it's just in divine time. You're becoming one, you're becoming free, and just saying that you're growing. Okay, you're growing in terms of yourself spiritually, but also it's going to help in the relationship too. What else? Intimacy. Yeah, coming together. This is a 35 card that reduces to an 8, all right? And it's bringing your spiritual, growth that's happening with you onto the physical plane. You're bringing that into, the intimacy as well. So this is beautiful. And so what it really tells me is that right now is that your vulnerability is key to growing spiritually. Okay, the blue is the throat chakra, the purple is the crown chakra that you see there, and it's quite beautiful. You see there's two people coming together. Now is the time to really share yourself openly, okay, without any defensiveness, without any pretense. This is basically saying, let down the barriers, Pisces, that have held you apart from another, and even from the divine and from the world. Let yourself be held by the experiences of your life without needing to defend against them. Okay, your vulnerability is your way forward now. That is going to be key. Okay, you're learning that you have enough strength. You have enough strength to really surrender, and you're brave enough to allow yourself to be truly lived by the divine. Okay, so this is saying open yourself up to new ways in a partnership. It's going to be really important, and meet the world and your loved one or loved ones in order to share something of yourself or with another. You're ready to be seen. And you're also, Pisces, ready to be received more than ever before, okay? And this is an intimacy. This is gorgeous. This is really beautiful, okay? So becoming one and, both within and without, and really blending with another and blending your heart and soul with yourself as well, okay? So to know yourself is to know you, okay? So hold hands, touch lips, and just bathe in the embrace. That's what this is saying. So go do it. That's what this is saying. And what else? She is the moon. Now, this is a 5 card, and when I see the 5s, they're telling me it's about like adversity. Okay, there's some sort of adversity in some way, shape, or form. The moon is about something that is hidden, right? So maybe hiding what is in our heart, because you've got the green here, which is indicating the heart chakra, and then this is the spirituality of the crown chakra. But really, what this is saying is that she is the moon. So there's things hidden within you. There's no doubt about it. Like the moon hides things as well. There's things hidden in your heart, right? And this is saying it does want you to share it with someone, okay? Sorry for the glare there, guys. It does want it to share it with someone, because that's what's coming into play here, okay? And, when you open up your heart, you're actually going to see the light come through. Okay, and there's so much light on this card, I can't even get it off it. Okay, right? So ride the wave and break down to whatever it is, because it's saying is that, with this 21 card, the communication. So communicating, it's also, the creativity, is coming into play here. Yeah, no doubt. So it's quite beautiful. And it just really is talking about that the light of the moon has those ebbs and flows, just like the first card of the wave has its ebbs and flows and has its breaks. And sometimes you've got to break open a little bit and let the world see that beautiful, you, but you got to crack yourself open a little bit so others can see that, right? So the wisdom of patience, is kind of, is that kind of like that gardener, right? And the right timing is going to promote that growth and the planting, the seed. And you want to plant the seed when the soil is very, very fertile, right? So is it the time for action or for rest? It can change really quickly, like the phases of the moon, right? Because a lot of times a gardener will look at that lunar calendar at times, as to what to do and to how to plant their garden. So perhaps you're waiting for some more light to reveal your way as this moon is growing fuller. But all things are going to come in time to you, okay? So your message here is that you're manifesting, or your manifestation at this time of what you want. Maybe it's a particular relationship, whatever it is that is bringing you love in your heart and passion in your heart. It's going to unfold in perfect timing, okay? So if you feel something's not happening enough in a relationship or happening as quickly, and you're unsure if you're really ready, be assured that all is well. If something's not clear and you'd like it to be more so, the clarity that you seek is going to come to you. So don't worry. Don't try to force anything, okay? This is saying, any sort of insight, don't force it. Just be with what is actually happening now and trust. This wants you to trust. and move and to know that everything is growing and all is well. And you're going to see, that for yourself, just as the moon grows full, revealing itself in the deepest, darkest nights, so will things come to fruition. They're just going to all come through, okay? What about this other person? What needs to come through and what is coming out for them? Ancient ones, that's a 7 card. So 52 and a 7, they talk about having faith, okay? So ancient ones, it's like the universe, the source actually sees this person, and this person is like surrendering to source, okay? And it's almost like that's coming into play. And it's shining this beautiful, beautiful light, on this person here. And what this is just saying is that there is some spiritual growth happening for this other person. So just, be patient with them. They're receiving some sort of guidance that's working through them at this time, and they're kind of surrendering themselves. And so they can be understood, appreciated, and really, a lot of internal things that are happening in them that you might not be able to see, but it's happening internally within them. Major growth is happening with them. It's real, and universe sees that, even though the rest of the world can't see that. The universe and this person is going through that. And it's just a leap of personal growth on this other person's side. And they're still testing the physical world and trying to translate their inner changes, especially if they're connecting with you in some way, shape, or form. But just know that's what's coming into play. What else for this person here? And they're having faith that it can come through. It's a 14. This is falling. Okay, so yeah, it's like this. You see, like a feather falls to the ground at times, from a bird that flies in the air. This person is surrendering to the source and knowing that that's going to move them in the right place. Okay, so that's what's coming into play here. And they're being called. There's no doubt. By spirit, by this beautiful, beautiful growth. And sometimes it does take a surrendering and just. They're kind of like their fear is that they're falling, but it's they're just diving deeper into their ocean of bliss and insightfulness on the spiritual side. Okay, that's what's happening here, and they have to surrender. And sometimes it takes more power to let things fall and kind of slowly fall and kind of take place with ease. Because it's going to fall when it's perfectly ripe, right? It's kind of like that universal tree. Even if an apple falls, it's going to fall at the perfect most peak timing, right? So this is saying is that this is just a message that this person is being called to the divine union and the fulfillment of their destiny, okay? And they need to just trust and just go with what's happening, okay? So just know that that's what that other person is going through, and anything else, like eruption of light. So enlightenment, here's an 11 card, right? 11 cards. So this is very, very pivotal too. So they're moving forward into the light, which is beautiful, and that's really key for them right now. And this is saying is that the words have more power than they realize, and they have a special ability to heal with words and to really bring to light what's needed to really uplift things through, maybe to uplift through their kindness. They also have a special message that to bring, and maybe they need to write on topics that are close to their heart. So that's what's coming into play for this other person, okay? So very, very spiritually guided. What else for you? Anything else for you over here? Ethereal touch. So this is a 27 card, brings it to a 9, which means coming to fruition, right? So sometimes we need to be touched rather than be spoken to. So this is going to be very, very important for you at this particular time. So you're looking for that. It's like spirit is present in your very touch at this time, and you are having the impact on the world around you, particularly your close relationships. In ways that are just more profound than might be obvious to you. That's what's happening. Okay, so trust the divine touch and the presence of the divine touch in your physical world and in your spiritual world, and just remember that your sacred temple of your body is that you're able to hold and give touch, and it's like a sacred healing. So embrace your healing abilities because you have those in you, Pisces, and trust that you could feel your way through life by opening up your hands to receive and then taking hold of the opportunities that are being presented to you. Because you're meant to touch and open the world with your amazing spirit. And that's what's coming through, okay? So note your comments below. So what is it that you would like to say to this person? And what would this other person like to say to you? Let's see what that is all about, okay? Let's see what that's all about. What would you like to say to this person? What is that? Okay, here it is. I was just reacting to you as if you were my father, and I know that you are not. Okay, so that's what's coming into play, okay? So we all have different fathers in our, we've had a father in our life, and some of people who had acted as fathers in any way, shape, or form. But whatever your upbringing in some, whatever that is, sometimes we take on their way of thinking until we're adults and we're old enough to see objectively on what it is that we want to decide for ourselves and how we are and how we want to view ourselves or a certain situation. So there could have been just maybe this reminded you of how you had reacted with your father, and you know that it's something that you might have to work on in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe that's something sensitive to you that you know that, hey, that's bringing to light. I should pay attention to that now and how I can perhaps overcome that in a better, more productive way, perhaps. Just an example. So that's an idea. So interesting. And you're actually just taking your own ownership of your own work. Okay. And that's what I feel is coming into play here, which is quite beautiful and quite admirable and quite courageous. So it's neat. What does this other person want to say? I'm embarrassed to say that I don't even remember what I'm arguing with you about. Okay, so that's what's coming into play. Just stop, everyone in their tracks and quickly, get down to the issue of things, right? So that's what's coming into play. Let's see what else that you want to say to them. Okay. I forgive you completely. It never happened. Wow. Well, this is sometimes we need to generally forgive our partners, right? Sometimes this is just the ticket to get back on track when things have veered slightly off track. So this is beautiful, okay? And what does this other person want to say to you? If there's any other words they'd like to say? All I want is for you to listen to me with an open heart. So in some way, shape, or form, they're requesting a certain amount of time from you, and it takes a fair amount of confidence in one's self-worth to ask this, is asking for you to listen to them without any sort of judgment in some way, shape, or form. They're asking that of you. And that's what I'm finding. So that's what's coming into play. What did the soul trees have to say for you? What's going to help you, Pisces, in this process? What can help you in this process? You can have a conversation, and what can help you for these 2 weeks? What is it? Gentleness. Well, that's nice. That's beautiful. Sometimes we do need to be gentle, okay? So take a look at this. This is like that beautiful kind of that crown chakra type energy. And this is all about being gentle, not only with others, but also yourself. Take a more compassionate and tender approach towards yourself, okay? Very key, because you can't be gentle with another if you don't do that, right? And that's all about that ethereal touch, right? Being gentle with yourself, okay? Very, very important. So that's one thing. What else wants to come out for you? Flexibility, okay? So really moving forward and with spontaneity, with resilience, right? You get that flexibility. Whoops. There it is. Here it is here. Flexibility, because it wants you to go within the flow. It wants you to move within the flow of things, right? It wants you to kind of go with the flow and surrender as you move forward, right? Going with the flow is kind of like the theme through this process, right? And moving with that flow, with that other person. So all of these cards for you have all that flowy type of experience, and that's what it wants to let you know. Anything else through this process that'll be important? Collaborate. So two together, collaborating together. So this could be, just kind of coming together in terms of working together to create, working together to communicate. And this is the throat chakra, right? So this is coming into play, collaborating, in terms of, speaking what you'd like to say to each other as well. So that's coming into play too. So I hope that this resonates in some way, shape, or form, Pisces, and I look forward to seeing you in the second half of April here. And until then, namaste.